Take the boy and go hide in the loft.
I'm here to collect Mr. Hawthorne's rent! Shut that squeal! Before I get you up and squeal now! Christ almighty!
Johnny Fletcher busted into a farmhouse and property.
You bring me back that stuff to false.
Well, look at what we have here.
Please don't kill me.
Gentleman John Fletcher! Damn it!
Johnny Fletcher! Don't make me chase you!
I didn't kill nobody. I didn't murder that family.
That don't break me down to me. You're a bounty hunter. You're a wanted man. Here.
Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds, and shall find me, unafraid. It matters not how straight the gates, how charged the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Stand down and no one has to die today.
This only ends one way.
They'll kill you all.
Why not take your chances in a prison cell?
Alright, I'm coming out.
My lord, I have a report.
Speak.
Our latest assassination attempt on Lady Nocturne has failed.
I can see stronger measures are needed. Begin phase 2.
Captured! The notorious Lady Nocturne has been brought in through the valiant efforts of the Void Cobras.
Get on the jam,
Prisoner, take 5 steps, then stop and turn your right.
But the pirates of Velix Mortis are far from defeated.
My lord, I have a report.
Let's cut to the chase, since we both know that this isn't a social call and you didn't come here to waste time.
Fine. High Command is gambling that the attempt on your life by your so-called friends has made you willing to cooperate. Am I wasting my time now?
What fate will befall the disgraced former pirate?
The Minotaur sends his regards, traitor.
What does your High Command want, and what are they offering in return?
High Command wants many things, but it wants to show a good faith first.
Go.
Fire Team 1, move up. Fire Team 2, covering fire.
Bravo Team 1, push up. Bravo 2, give us support.
What next for now infamous mercenaries, the Void Cobras?
I want every last pirate I used to run with dead. I don't want to be watching over my shoulder every hour of every day.
Now you die!
Will the Void Cobras become targets of Lady Nocturne's former pirate comrades?
Attention, crash override. This is Freighter Ebony Hawk. My ship just lost all power and thrust. We're going down. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
There truly is no honor among thieves. You rabble will turn on each other at the slightest provocation.
Okay, 5, moving past you.
Find out on the next episode of Star Citizen Nocturne.
Jameson, you copy?
Touch me now. I don't want to live without you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you.
Jameson, we require immediate emergency extract.
I don't know, man. It looks kind of hot over there.
Of interest in my life to AIDS.
Okay, got it working, Sarge.
Alright, Corporal. Good work. Follow me! Y'all remember what Sarge said? Stay together, keep comms clear, and heads on the swivel. Clear. Okay, we're gonna secure it, then sweep the entire ship for survivors. Channel, you take point. Doc, you're behind me. Corporal, you're bringing up the rear.
Understood, Sergeant.
Taking track. Oh shit! God, oh my God!
Get the hell out of here!
Get him off me, get him off me, get him off me! They're getting in my armor! Ah!
I got into collecting bounties when a gang of bandits bushwhacked my wife, my best friend Coyote, and me. Meet the Jones brothers.
Take a look at the situation in which you find yourself.
That's Joshua.
Gonna have real bad. What's the Indian word for
Next to him is Rufus the Doofus.
Like, I don't know. You're just trying to make me look dumb.
All right, I want to
Next
see
to
rifles
him is
on the
Lyman.
ground.
Remember those faces.
And 6.
You'll see him again.
8 hands praising Jesus.
The other ones, well, ain't no use in introducing. They're all dead.
Run! Obadiah, get the saddlebags! I got them!
I later discovered the Jones brothers were all wanted men. Figured I might as well get paid for taking my revenge.
Man, we still want it for justice. The post is still on the wall?
So I hunted down the ones we didn't kill. Lyman, he sang like a bird. Rufus and Joshua were smuggling contraband down the river. Always to the same spot. I found a nice perch on a bluff above the river where I knew they would eventually be. During the war, I was a sharpshooter. Coyote's Whitworth came in handy. For weeks, I tracked them. Then I killed them.
If you like our content, we'd appreciate if you'd like, subscribe, and get notifications. Help us extend our reach by sharing our video content. And if you want to help us beat the algorithm, also leave us a comment on some of our videos.
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey. How you doing?
Oh, I forgot to turn my light on. Give me one
I'm
second.
here. What did I miss?
You're here at the very beginning this time, so you go ahead and introduce the admin team whilst I turn on the light.
All right then. Well, since I'm the only other admin here. What's going on? YouTube? Welcome to the Sons of Liberty live stream, and we got Big Sarge, the founder of this wonderful establishment here. I'm not sure who else might be coming in, but you guys know who I am, Joe Sarge, doing the big thing. And today we have, for the second time, this is like my fourth, but for the second time on Sons of Liberty, we've got Aiden Swallow from the Arizona 6th District, I believe.
Well, yeah, 6th District congressionally, but 19th District legislatively.
All right. Tell us about yourself for the people who already don't know. And that's a big change. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So I guess a little bit about myself for those that don't know. I jumped into politics originally as a congressional candidate because basically I just got tired of all the BS that was going on. And so at the start of 2025, I decided to jump into politics for the first time. I am a nearly 20-year veteran. So I have that background. I have an intel background in HUMINT and CI in the Army. And Arizona, so mainly Fort Huachuca was like my stomping grounds. The last thing I did was a instructor at Fort Huachuca for HUMINT and CI courses, leadership courses as well, SLC, ALC, all that good stuff. I left the military as Sergeant First Class. I am one of the military people being kicked out, or was kicked out, for being trans. Let's see. And I'm running. I was originally a congressional candidate. I decided to change that to a state candidate to have a bigger impact on the community and fight back against the representatives that have been literally in office for decades at this point. So
that is a big change.
Yeah.
Well, do you have? Are you running against a Democratic primary at this point?
Yeah. So currently there's not a primary, which I hope it stays that way, because having a primary, although I like competitive primaries, they will distract from like the actual election, the general election. So I hope that there's not, but the way that LD19 works is that there's 2 state rep candidates and 1 Senate candidate, and they all rotate on this 2-year time frame at the same time. And so right now I'm the only Democratic candidate for LD19. There is also another Republican candidate who's not one of the 3 who's just been rotating forever. And then there's also, I think, an independent candidate as well. I don't know if that's changed. And then there's also a candidate for Senate, a Democratic candidate for Senate. So, yep.
Okay. Your state sucks. I hate to tell you, I'm finding more and more problems with the Democrats in that state.
Okay, so the state sucks or the Democrats in the state suck? Because, I mean, both could be true. I'm not sure. Uh-oh.
Obtuse.
Oh, you skipped. All I heard was they suck and then obtuse, and now you're skipped again.
I don't know. It's been doing this lately for him. Just him, where it'll like freeze for a good amount of time. Like one time he was like, so Matt and I were just kind of like, but Matt's not here tonight, apparently. So
I know, just you two, just the big ones. Oh no. Oh, you were skipped for a second. But never mind, you're good now. Oh, he's back.
I'm back?
You're back.
Okay. He always cuts out right at the worst time, like, your state sucks. Like, that's it.
Basically what happened.
Yes. Go ahead, Tim. Well, let me at least finish that so I can save it here. The idea was I was being hyperbolic and obtuse on purpose, but to make a statement, to make an actual point, the legislative body in Arizona, in my opinion, has so many problems that you find that you can even get someone like Kirsten Sinema into the Senate, right? The Democrats are, I think, now maybe a bit more galvanized because they have a monster to fight against, but we're so all over the place. I'm hoping that someone like you can get in there and give a clear, powerful message of exactly what the Democrats are looking for, what they stand for, and not trying to appease both sides so that they can have enough D's, little D, in the chambers. Can we talk about that?
Sure. One thing is, I think it is important to have an overabundance of Democrats now in the chamber, because especially for LD19 or Arizona specifically, the Republicans have a supermajority, and so a lot of bad things have kind of happened. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a supermajority. They have the majority regardless, and so there's been a lot of problems, even worse on the state level than in the federal level. I know everybody's like focused on the federal level, but on the state level, it's been pretty bad for a while, as my website talks about. But yeah, so my point is that I don't really appease the sides. I'm a Democrat because, to be frank, they're the ones that aren't doing all the bad things right now. So, but also, I really identify more with the independent clause, with independence in general. But, you know, for this race, I knew I had to pick a side, and so I picked the Democrat side, obviously. So yeah, my idea isn't to appease either of the sides. Now, granted, though, the way that my state works in rural Arizona, where I am, it's probably, in a lot of ways, it's probably going to seem like I am appeasing both sides, as you put it, because there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be Republicans to my side, and there's going to be independent Democrats who come to my side who have already. And so, but that's, I don't know, it's hard to say because it's not for me. It's not because I'm trying to appease to those sides, right? It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm likable, I guess. I don't know. But there's going to be Republicans who go to the side as well. In fact, I'm going to need Republicans to go to the side. I'm probably going to need a few, not a ton, but I'm going to need a few. So, Oh, now he's gone.
He does that too. So, oh, there he is. Let me see. He should be able to add himself. There he is. He's added
Yay.
himself.
All right, I'm sorry. I think StreamYard does not like my VPN, so I had to kind of change that up. All right, so last thing I heard was it might look like what I called appeasing, but it's not.
Oh, yeah. It might look like I'm appeasing, but really, I think it's I don't know. Either I'm likable or the policies that I go for could benefit, because the policies I'm going for are generally there to benefit everybody, regardless of political party. And so I'm sure for some people they're gonna say I'm appeasing, but for me, I'm just trying to help all Arizonans, really. In fact, that's the biggest reason I jumped from congressional to state race, is because I wanted to actually make a difference in the 2 years that I'm going to be, hopefully that I'm elected. Whereas if I had won the congressional race, I mean, I'm being honest, I don't know how much they're going to be able to get done in 2 years, if I'm being completely frank. So
I heard that you play D&D.
Oh, yes, on my personal time, yes, I do play D&D. In fact, you would know that because I might be part of your little campaign thing that you're doing.
Have you submitted a character yet?
No, I need to do that, but I'm in the emails.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's why I
got
said Mike. That's why I said Mike.
3 days.
Yeah.
You got to get that character in there so I can pencil whip it.
Yeah. But yes, I
that
do
was
play
the epic call up. Have you submitted the character yet?
I mean,
that's why I said Mike.
It might also be a way of like nudging all the other people to like, oh, I want to play, but then they haven't submitted the character yet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, James Freeland, good to see you in here, man. He was just at another premiere that we did on Political Drain like an hour ago.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, talking about the Native Americans. Speaking of that, since we're here, Arizona has quite the Native American population, don't they?
Yeah. They have quite a large Native American population, especially in rural Arizona, where I am. But really all over the state, honestly. But yeah.
You know what? I think let me look into. I'm gonna come up with some questions about that, because especially after that premiere I just did, it's like I feel really bad that I don't have those questions already. Like I know I'm the guy who I try to come up with a whole lot of questions that I think will really get really good answers to the core of things. But the forgotten people, the Native Americans, I just never talk about them, and it's my fault. So I want to start putting them in the forefront. Do you know what nations are in your district? You said you have some in your district?
Yeah, off the top, I do have I have like a list and stuff, but I don't, off the top of my head, I don't the density and the percentages. I don't know that, but I do know that it's a lot of indigenous land in the area. Tucson's not in my area anymore, so it's literally all just rural. But yeah, I don't have those, not off the top of my head. I could look it up, but
go ahead, Big Sarge. Oh, I thought you were about to get into some D&D. I'm waiting for that D&D talk.
I mean, I could, but
go ahead.
No. I saw somebody's comment in the chat about voting for characters, but I'm not ready to remind people to vote yet. I want to wait until after the submission deadline closes on Friday night.
It's fair.
What? Okay, you know what? Since we're you were looking kind of fuzzy. You're still looking kind of fuzzy there.
I know. Yeah, I'm looking all fuzzy. I don't really know why. Anyway, go ahead.
Focus is off on your camera.
I guess.
Do you have an autofocus button?
I don't know. This thing's not a high-tech camera. That's the one thing I need to like upgrade is like my camera. Anyway, we can keep going.
Let me see.
Unless you guys
visual
have a solution.
effects. What
It's
are my
like-
visual effects window hotkeys? See if there's a focus button. Let's see, layout, scenes, navigation, other. There's not. There's not an autofocus button.
No, it happened when it got worse when you rubbed it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That
I think
happens
it's
to me
just
when
that,
I rub
it's
it.
that lens. Hey, there you go. You lose focus when you rub it, Big Sarge.
I don't know
Your
what
wife
to do
always
right
comes at the most inopportune time when you're talking.
I know, right? Try unplugging your camera and then plugging it back in. See if that helps. Thank you for calling tech support. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Classic. See, there you go. That's what you get for calling Big Sarge tech support.
No, that happens when you unplug the microphone
Oh.
or the camera. Is in case you're out of the thing.
All right. I would love to know. So here's the thing, guys. I said that I would like to have a training session. I would like to be a part of D&D to be the one person who doesn't know anything, but not for charity. Like that's not the right time for that. I wanted like a play time. So what I want to do is the ability to watch and learn while y'all are doing this, right?
Yeah. So for the D&D charity game, we're gonna have the big game, but leading up to that, I want to have the characters, the players, do a couple of sessions so that we can make sure that everybody's equipment works. They've got the game. Everything is linked properly so that on show day, we're not going through last minute, fucking around for an hour, wasting game time. We can just literally just log on and play. And then B, hang on, let me add Aiden back in.
I think that's better. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's better.
That's
better.
10.
Ridiculous, Sarge. Ridiculous.
I know. That's my lot in life.
It's not a bad lot.
It's not a bad lot. All right. So what's going on with the pre-game games?
The players can kind of develop some sort of cohesiveness, but also kind of flesh out how their character is going to role play on the day of the big game. Give them the time to kind of iron out any kinks or find their proverbial footing, so to speak. So
Wait, so are you doing a session 0 and a session 1 the same day?
no, the game itself is going to be on like November the 15th, but leading up to that, I want to have like 2 or 3 games where the players can kind of figure out, what they're doing.
Oh, got it. That's cool. Okay.
So when y'all just making shit up, like what is it? Can you just be anything? You would say, yo, you know what? My guy, he's an ex-football player. He runs really fast and he has really big shoulders. So like his superpower is
out of
knocking
those
people over. Can you just make anything up?
Out of those 4 things that you just listed, only one of those would potentially cause conflict, and it's the football player part. I am sure that there could be a workaround for an analogous medieval equivalent fantasy setting. But otherwise, yeah. So
you have to be a nerd.
Not necessarily.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
So as an example, there was a guy who played the game with us that he wanted to like, like other players. There's one player who like would go into a town, in the starter in the middle of a little session or whatever, and he's like, everybody's running to the tavern, trying to get drunk, trying to get laid, whatever, and he specifically would wander around town and like sell trinkets or whatever, just random junk that he picked up off of NPCs or found in dungeons, whatever. And he actually turned a pretty penny doing that because he had a high charisma score, so he could literally sell spoons to people and be like, yeah, the spoon came from Duchess blah blah blah, it's worth whatever. And the person was like, I'll give you a gold for it. And he's like, oh, I couldn't possibly sell it for any less than 5. And they're like, but I only have 1 gold. And he's like, okay. He was doing really good with this, and he was role-playing the shit out of it. And I was giving him extra XP for the role-playing. Another guy was like, I could do something like this, but he couldn't get any, proverbial loot or whatever. So what he did was he figured out what the maximum amount of damage was in 2nd edition. It was capped. Once you went over that cap, you couldn't get any more damage. So even if you rolled all the hit dice, so he was like, he got himself up to a level where he had more hit points than that. So he could just jump off of anything, fall from any height, whatever. So he named himself the Ludicrous Leaper, and he came up with this stupid costume that he would wear out. He's like, when we roll into town, I take off my armor and I put on my leotard or whatever. And he named himself the Ludicrous Leaper. He's like, he would walk into town and he would just start jingling a bell, and he's like, the Ludicrous Leaper is here. I bet you I could jump from the tallest structure in this town and not die. And people were like, no, that's not possible. And he's like, yes, it is. He's like, that tower over there, I could jump off that tower and still be alive. And we're like, all right, let's go. So he would show up and like, he's like, I put my hat on the ground, and people were like throwing coins, and I have to like randomly roll for however many people. It was ridiculous. So eventually I had to like phase out the Ludicrous Leaper because I would literally sit there like 15 minutes rolling dice just to figure out how much cash this guy was raking in.
I mean, you could have just made it up.
I could have, but like the very first time that I did it, I'm like, all right, so this guy's probably got X amount. So after that, they're like, oh, you can't make it up. You got to roll the dice.
Oh my god. So yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you can make up a ton of shit.
Yeah, that's what that whole story was about. Who was that? Lisa. She was like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about anymore. He was giving an example. I was asking, can he just make up anything? So the only thing you can't be is cool. I got you. You got to be some sort of ancient or okay. Here's another question before we get to some more serious stuff.
I don't know. This is pretty serious.
This is I'm realizing how serious this is by how often folks are talking to me about this, like, telling me the ins and outs. Like, there's books. Like, these people are very serious, and they're not smiling when they're talking to me. they're like, grow the fuck up, bro. Like, we need you to get right. I'm like, I'm sorry. But here's the last question. Do you have to be of and like a European time, Dark Ages or whatever that is, Middle Ages time period? Does it have to be something pertaining to that, or can it be future? Can I be a future thing? I can't do that. Okay, can I be?
So there is what's called a player's handbook and a dungeon master's guide, and those are the two rule books that kind of form the core of that. There are campaign settings where that are set in like something that's analogous to medieval Japan, for example, or fucking 800 AD in the Middle East. But for fantasy settings, things like guns and whatnot, anything forward of that is pretty much a no-go. But it's all dependent upon what kind of rules you're playing with, what kind of core books and things like that. So you could
So I could be like Monopoly, where I can say in this game we're making this up. We're doing this in this year, or I could like kind of make up my own rules if I wanted to, if everybody agreed to them.
It would really depend. I mean, that sounds like a
tie,
house
Aiden?
rule or something like that.
That's how you know this is serious. That was well.
Well, so
a bit too far, messing up my game.
Well,
here.
it's funny because I'm starting to learn a little bit that Big Sarge over there is really a stickler about the rules, and I'm a rule breaker, so I kind of So it's good for me to know if he ever if he brings me into the game. But the point is that like the first page. First or second page, I don't remember, on either the player handbook or the dungeon master guide. I don't remember which one, but it says it's a role-playing game. Like the rules are guardrails. They're not like, so you don't have to follow the rules completely. You can make things up, and the DM is like, the DM is God, so the DM can change anything he or she wants. The DM can add rules that they want. They can add class, like they essentially can do whatever. The rules are just there to help along the way, and the time frame, that all depends on what the DM decides. So it could be a fantasy world with an artificial time frame where artificers have guns or not. It just depends what he wants. A lot of people like fantasy, but there's futuristic campaigns. I DM'd a campaign where it was all about astrology and like powers of like the zodiac and stuff. So like it just kind of depends on what people on what the DM wants to do and what the players and what he allows, basically.
The DM doesn't play though.
Sometimes they do.
He's like the ref.
Well, sometimes they play. Sometimes they have. Yeah.
How can you play and ref at the same time? Because then you could skew it to your win.
So generally, a good DM might have a DM run NPC that is kind of there, but is used super sparingly. Like I ran, an NPC that was a party member simply because the party was a bunch of fuck ups and would literally spend hours doing dumb shit in a tavern or around town, like making deals, buying real estate, shit like that. And I had to have a character that was kind of like a deus ex machina to like force the story along. Like if these guys were utterly clueless, if you had like 6 players and they're all dumb as shit and they're all like, you're literally the answer is right there in that chest in the middle of the room. There's nothing else in the middle of that. There's nothing else in the room. It's literally an empty room with a chest, and all 6 of them are wandering around examining the walls, the ceiling, and nobody is touching the chest. Nobody's looking at the chest. They don't even know the chest is there. I have that NPC as an ace in the hole to be like, hey, what's that chest in the middle of the room? And then like, oh. So that's where a good DM will use that player character if they need to. If there's a critical fact that everybody's missing, you have the backup character kind of come in and be like, man, that guy really stinks. Do you smell that? And then the player's like, oh, do I smell anything funny? Okay. Now you just kind of nudge them along.
I got you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just.
But also, technically, the DM has to play all the NPCs and stuff. So, I'm sorry, you don't understand terminology. So the non-player characters. So the DM has to
has to play all of them as well. So like,
yeah,
I'm acting like I know what NPC is
stuff.
because everybody's just talking about it. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to ask that one. There's so much stuff I
You're
need
in
to know
a
before
town
I
of
ask that.
500 people. I have to be all 500 people.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All right. So what kind of character are you before I go back into to questioning, Aiden?
Oh, well, I haven't submitted my character yet, so I am nothing currently.
What kind of character do you like to play? Do you normally have a character that you play, or is it like pick up every time?
I generally am all about charisma, so I will use the classes that primarily use charisma are paladins, because spellcasting. Well, they can, because I always go to the path of the blade, so that my charisma accounts for that. But anyway, so paladins, rogue. Well, rogue is dexterity, but bard, warlock, sorcerer. Am I forgetting one? I don't know. I don't know if I'm forgetting one. But I normally do so between a bard, a warlock, and a sorcerer. I kind of like the three that I normally do. And generally speaking, with a lot of these games like this, I tend to play a lot of slutty characters. That's just kind of what I do. I don't know if I want to do that with this one, because that'd be televised, but I don't know.
Might be televised.
I don't know.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I like it.
Can't have this on my congressional record.
I might have had the last campaign I did. Somebody did like a horror Disney version, and my character might have been a droid from the Star Wars universe, and who ended up like was a human and got shaped into a droid, and they were kind of a man whore, and I think I rolled for performance when they were doing their things. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So the best part about all that is that every time I'm seeing you guys talk about this, Big Sarge, you're acting out all the things.
He just was, yes.
Right. Is that what we do? Like, is that what's so? If you're that man, or if you're sexy Snow White, and you roll for performance, you have to act that shit out, or what? What's going on? What are we doing here?
It depends on the table. It depends on the table and what's allowed and stuff. Like, I know that for my game, they didn't want us to role play all of the things that happened during, because it gets kind of gross and creepy at some point, because they're a room full of people. Like,
yes.
At what point did we just jump to porn? But the
strip D&D.
yeah. But like, so it kind of depends. But
okay.
It depends on the person. It also depends on the table. Like when I was 19 or 20, that might have been cool. Now that I'm pushing 50, I'm like, I don't want to have you role play you hooking up with my barmaid NPC. Don't just roll, and we'll be like, all right, for the next 3 hours. Oh, I'm sorry, the next 5 hours, you'll be in the thing. You're off the table. Don't be over there like, okay, so first I'm gonna like, hey baby, why don't you take off that?
Let's not go to phone sex.
But you don't necessarily have to role play out everything. And it depends on you primarily. Like, do you want to role play out you like, going through the motions of whatever, or do you want to just be like, I mean, I rolled a natural 20. What do you want to have happen here? And the DM could be like, okay, well, here's what happens then.
Okay.
And you can kind of shape and guide that. Obviously, you're going to be like, okay, well, I say this, I say that, I do this, I do that, for certain things. But for other things, you just be like, yeah, we don't need to role play that out. I don't want you to.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question that comes off of that then. We're talking about role playing. We're talking about all of this. You, Aiden, are an actress.
Yes.
Can you say actress anymore? You gotta say actor.
I don't know.
Now.
I always say actor because it's like gender neutral now. It's been like that for years, but I just say actor. But,
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I am an actor, correct.
So you're an actor. But I would expect that you would like to role play and do, be dramatic during D&D. But on the stage, there is a well, okay. Just in if you're talking about stage acting, the one thing I do know is that there is a politic that goes along with being on the stage. There's politic between the actors, how they're supposed to be treating each other, who gives, who takes, who. There is a dictator, which is the director, right? But there's things that you learn in being a part of a uh, what do they call that? Like a team or a group, right? Or the crew, an acting group that can be taken to politics. What in your acting career, what in your way, what you do in an acting profession can translate over to you, or has, or maybe has even informed how
Yeah,
you
well,
want to politic?
first of all, fantastic segue. But yeah, so so I didn't start officially acting until my debut in or theater acting specifically until I always get the years confused. My debut in Godspell in 2023, I think, might have been 2022. But you know, I would argue that Hugh Mentors and CI is just a bunch of actors anyway. But um, but to your question, what I can take from the stage and put into politics. So a lot of people don't realize this, but I have huge stage fright. Like if anybody is watching backstage before I go on stage, I'm shaking. I have to like hold my hands up, like I am freaking the F out, right? And then, but the moment I go on stage, I embody that character completely, and I'm like a different person. In a lot of ways, that is kind of what politics has to be. There are some people who get to know the real me all the time, and I don't really like play a different, like I don't play a character out in the world, but like naturally when you're doing a professional environment, you're going to have a different face for that. Well, but and so acting helps to be able to have a different face sometimes and react to the situation without I guess succumbing to your feelings or opinions. So in that way, that helps a lot. Also, in the speeches that I've done already, when I was a congressional candidate, and as I've my experience of being on stage and being able to throw the stage fright away a little bit, so I don't like stutter at first, has helped as well. So like being able to make that switch to being able to perform, I guess, for lack of better phrasing.
I mean, that's it. That is what it is. When you're on stage, there's some people who have done it for so long that they, for instance, I'm a drummer, so there's never been a time, I mean, not never, but there's in the past 15, 20 years, there hasn't been a time that somebody said, hey, you want to come play? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
I want to perform and I want to make sure everybody's going to love it. But I've done it so much. I've been in front of so many crowds. I mean, so many, right? That at some point you get used to it. But it still is always a performance. I'm not going up there and doing what I do in practice, right? And I don't think a lot of people get that. Like you're on stage, you're doing a speech, you look natural, but you're performing, and that's important. Like let's not forget that. Second,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. All I was gonna say is like the Army says, you know, oh God, and it just fucking blanked. Jesus Christ, Tim, help me out.
You're performing?
No.
Hey, you don't remember what you're talking about. How am I supposed to know?
Train like you fight. There we go.
Train like you fight.
I'm sorry. All these Kool-Aid.
you mean train
all
like
these
you
Kool-Aid
fight.
things. All these Kool-Aid things are starting to dissipate out of my ears, and so I have to try and keep some of them. So train like you fight. So it's kind of like that mentality of like
these are sound teaching devices, what you call Kool-Aid. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say. Is that like is that because you do it so often that you're able to just jump into that quicker and be more natural about it. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, you had a second point.
Well, right now you say it's it's well, I know it's gerrymandered to all hell, but
Yeah.
When you do say you do get rid of this supermajority, Democrats are in power. What is the first things you're going to be looking at, right? Or even if you have a way to win, what's the first thing Democrats going to be looking at in Arizona to help, number one, stop the onslaught of these bullies taking over, gerrymandering, doing all the things? I mean,
Yeah.
getting rid of every right that you fight for. And number two, for everybody, the things that should be a direction that is a standard for Democrats. We want these things. What are some of those?
Yeah. So what I would say is whether we take back the majority or not is somewhat irrelevant for me. I mean, it'll make it things easier, but my thing is I'm hyper focused now on LD19, right? Rural Arizona, and so to answer your question, what I really focus on is like all these things are important. Like the gerrymandering issues are important, and now we're starting to see big deals with like Texas and stuff. But but like it's been a problem for a long time. But like those are issues. But that's not what I'm not gonna jump in. Say I'm elected. I'm not gonna jump in day one and try and fix the gerrymandering. To me, that's something that needs to be fixed. But that's not what's hurting rural Arizona right now. So what I want to do is, assuming I don't get elected, reelected 2 years afterwards, I want to make as much progress in the 2 years that I can. And the things that are hurting rural Arizonans the most is, loss of healthcare, is rural hospitals potentially closing, the fact that Arizona schools are 59th funded nationally. Of all the states, the Arizona schools are 59th in funding. The fact that Arizona currently has a water crisis that is utterly abysmal, that the desert might dry out of water, so it has going through a water crisis. Benson's going through an aluminum plant problem right now, literally right now. So like those are the problems that I want to address immediately upon getting hopefully elected, is trying to solve some of those problems, trying to maybe help fix the budgeting problems that we have, or address school vouchers and the fact that literally parents are paying money for their kids to take classes in a public school. These are all problems that Arizonans are facing.
What is the voucher situation in Arizona?
Yeah, so Arizona's always had a right to choice when it comes to schools. They've always had it. The vouchers didn't create a choice. The choice was already there. What vouchers do, it's a way for people to say, you know what, I'm going to homeschool or put my kid in in private or charter schools and get public funding because of that.
Right.
In rural Arizona, that's not always a problem. I would argue against charter and private schools all day, every day, no matter what. But homeschooling is a viable option for a lot of people in rural Arizona. However, the problem is that, especially in Phoenix and Maricopa County and those places, a lot of the money is going to people who could already afford private or charter schools. Now, I don't have the figures on me right now, but let's just say this. So in the state, because it's based upon the state, so not just the district, right? So people in Phoenix, which is Maricopa County, right? They're facing this problem where a lot of people are getting vouchers to send their kids to private and charter schools, and they're basically taking all the public funding so that public schools don't have enough to survive on, and so parents have to basically do the additional spending so that the kids can have more than just the STEM classes offered and stuff like that. So the voucher problem is the issue where the wealthy or the people who want to send their kids to like religious schools or other private schools, then the state is paying for it, and they're not regulated. By the way, they're also not regulated.
Wow.
So they're receiving state funds, and they don't have to follow state requirements. Yeah.
So that's the big problem when it comes to the vouchers. It has nothing to do with choice. A lot of the Republicans will be like, "Oh, it's about choice." No, Arizona already had a choice. It's always been a choice. You can always choose what school your kid goes to. But yeah.
I see you focus on rural Arizona a lot. Is there any big cities or is there any urban areas in that district?
Nope, it is. That's why my saying is real solutions for rural Arizona, because LD19 is all rural. The biggest city is like Sierra Vista, maybe Benson. Like no, I think no, Sierra Vista is probably the biggest one, actually, in my district.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Only reason why I ask, that makes complete and total sense. The reason why I ask is there's a book called White Rural Rage. It's written by Tom Shaler and somebody else. I don't remember, two writers. So this, in the book, they make the assertion that every single election year, every single politician goes around and says rural America. And instead of actually doing things to help rural people, which would help mainly all people, they use that and to make them feel like they're victims, like rural people are the forgotten ones, and really they're the ones that are over represented in campaigning, um, in promises, in just about everything that is being done as far as on a campaign. And so they keep voting for the people who use their victimhood or their victim mentality, not realizing that they're voting for the people who say it the most but do the least amount for rural people who live in rural areas. And the Democrat or the liberal person is somehow, because they want health care for all, that won't help rural people. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that like that. There's this big dichotomy in how they use the rural rage, to name the book, the White Rural Rage, to amp up these people to vote against their own self-interest. Is there a way that you can, and it even makes more sense now because that's exactly the district you're running for, and you use those words, rural. Is there a way that maybe you can see the Democrats finding a way to break that cycle, to prove once and for all you're all right, like everything we're doing also works for you, like it's not this, you don't need that rage in order to win, like we got you. Is there a way to make that point that you know of?
Yeah. Before I answer that, I do just kind of want to say that a lot of people say that they're doing stuff for rural areas, but rarely do they actually do anything. So when you say that they are represented, they're not really represented. They're just kind of, it's like what a lot of politicians do to get the racial vote is they'll talk about helping a certain group and then they don't really like do the things to help a certain group.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a lot of these politicians say it a lot to get those votes, and then they just don't do it. When it comes to rural specifically, which is generally has a history of being abundantly Republican, it's never made sense to me why that is the case, because Republicans have proven that they're not for rural areas and they're not for a lot of these different things that they're not for the working class that they claim to be. The Democrats have done far more for the working class, but it's always framed like the Republicans are for the working class and they're for the rural area and they're for the farmers, but they don't really do anything to help them. And I'll use that as an example because the three people that we have are Gowan, Lopez, and Griffin. And Gowan and Griffin, because Arizona has term limits, they'll exhaust their term limits in the representative seat, and then next year they'll run for the Senate. They'll exhaust their term limits, and then the next year they'll run again for the representative, and they've been doing that over and over again. Diaz is just he's on his re-election right now, but they're all Republicans, and they have done
like the problems that Arizona is facing right now, like the water crisis, part of that is because of them and the stuff that they have, the legislature that they have already been passing for years. So already the Democrats are doing far more for rural Arizona than they get credit for. So what can I do to stop that? And I'd say my focus is to not attack them as people, because I honestly don't think that we should be attacking people as human beings. Instead, I'm attacking their policy and what they've done in their history. And I'm proving that, okay, well, they haven't done this for you and they've promised how long, but I want to do this for you. And here's how I'm going to do it. So instead, I'm just going to get past it by showing them that, yeah, on the ballot, it's going to have a big D next to it. But, I'm the one that actually cares because I see you laughing there, Tim. You know what I mean?
It's encourageable.
So yeah, I'm going to focus on the policy, and it will be a smear campaign in terms of like what they've done policy wise, but I'm not going to go around and insult them personally because I think that's ridiculous. Well, they will do that to me. 100% they will.
Of course. But smear connotates something that's not true, right?
Oh, well, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, no lying.
Yeah, okay, an attack campaign is what I'm expecting. Yeah. I'm expecting you to go hard.
Yeah, it'll be very attack.
Big D, there you go, Big Sarge. I'm expecting you to go hard.
An attack campaign for the Big D.
Yes, all of it. I know. We're children. It's all right. I'm expecting you to go hard with attack campaigns. Smearing is a whole different thing, and there's a lot to be attacked. So, hell yeah, go for it.
It'll be straight up an attack campaign. Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to. I see there's a bunch of people talking in the comment section. Does anyone out there have questions for Aiden Swallow?
Hold on, before we take questions, can we post my website? That way they can already kind of know where some of the things are, kind of where I stand on a lot of the things.
Do you have a new website? Since you are...
No, it's instead of A Swallow for Congress, it's A Swallow for AZ. That's it. I just changed the domain.
I think I got that in the...
But the Congress, the old URL will still forward to the new one. So either way, it'll get you to it.
You said it was A Swallow
for AZ, FORAZ.
.com.
Oh, before we get to
those
questions too, you had an idea. Since I had you here, we're planning on doing a 101 at some point, and I'm kind of going over a lot.
My bad for missing it yesterday, Butterfly. I didn't see the email from Butterfly until.
It's all right. I also saw that I had permission to yell at you, so that you don't do it again. I'll reserve that till our next 101. But since we're here, you had an idea of a mutual aid, maybe healthcare exchange, something along that line. I'm not saying it right. What is that idea? Pull it up, and we'll talk about it more in depth when we have the time together to actually.
So part of my emphasis on coming up with solutions that can help people immediately immediately is what I'm calling Arizona Shield, which is and Shield is an acronym, but and it doesn't matter. Anyway, Arizona Shield, and the idea is I can't stop the cuts, and I did this on purpose, right? The cuts to Medicare and Medicaid aren't going to be until after the midterms, right? Next year in November and December, but I can't stop that from happening. No one can. No one in office now, no one who gets elected in the midterms can stop the cuts from occurring. It is a reality that we have to face. And so instead of me trying to say, well, this is what we're going to do to get back, like we should, but in the meantime, we have to stop people from, losing healthcare or not being able to survive. And so my plan is, well, I create a nonprofit that is strictly for reimbursing people for specifically medical bills. So it's I don't have to worry about the red tape of insurances. I don't have to worry about the red tape of negotiating prices. None of that BS involved. It is just a nonprofit that gets money and then gives money to people. And the idea is focusing on people who have first priority lost healthcare. Second priority is people who already have healthcare but need things that aren't covered. And the third priority is people who have like high premiums or high deductibles.
Yeah.
Right. And so the idea is that say you lost healthcare, right? And you go and you say, I need this thing to happen. I need or this surgery or something. And I say, okay, well, sign a contract saying that you don't have health care or that you do and whatever. Let's just say in this example, they don't have health care. Sign a contract saying that you don't have health care. Sign a contract saying you need, I don't know, $200, 20,000, I don't know, whatever the number is. You need this money for this thing. I say, okay, we verify that quickly. And then we just say, okay, well, here is the money for the thing that you need to get done. They go do the thing, they get the bill, they get the money from us, they're able to pay that bill, and then they show us a receipt afterwards saying, yeah, see, I paid the bill. And then we go, okay, cool, that's it. Like that's basically, and I'm keeping it as simple as possible so that it's a way of, I hate cliche words or phrases, but it's a way to stop the bleeding that's going to inherently occur. And I can't stop the bleeding from happening, but I could maybe stop it from you dying or like it going too far out of control. So that's my idea, to try and at least keep us going so that we can actually make legislation to fix the problem later down the road.
So why couldn't they, and I believe I know the answer to this question, but I'd like to know for sure, why couldn't they send you that bill and you pay the hospital instead of giving it to them and hoping that they give you back a receipt?
Yeah. So the problem with paying the hospital is then I run into the problems of those problems of being like a healthcare provider, a healthcare payer, or something like that. And so it muddies things up. And so I know that it's an inconvenience for the person who is receiving the funds. I understand that, but at the same point, I have to stop. If I sit here and I try to do all those different red tapes to be able to pay the hospital or negotiate with the hospital or negotiate with their insurance or whatever, if I do all that, then this isn't going to be a thing that I can have set up and ready for, in 2026.
Yeah.
It's going to take negotiations. It's going to take all kinds of problems. But currently, right now, there's nothing stopping anybody from making a nonprofit, period, as long as you use the money for whatever the bylaws say that you're going to use the money for. So that's why I'm doing it as simple as that, so that we can solve the problem is really what it comes down to.
I love it. I do. I can't wait to help out and be a part of that. Can't wait to help expand that when it all gets buttoned up. It just sounds like all we have left is mutual aid and ideas like that. Because we can't roll. Elections have consequences. We're not going to be rolling back a lot of the worst things. That's done. That's over with. And today, my wife was laid off because she works in the field, the medical field. And people who aren't on Medicaid, or if you think that maybe, you don't have a dog in the fight, it trickles down in so many more ways. Like, we weren't going to be affected by losing Medicaid or something like that. but that has definitely affected her entire department, which has now been let go. So um, it's very real, and mutual aid is the only way we get around it. That's it.
Yeah, and I wish that we didn't have to, like, but it's I've gone around this personally, like trying to figure, and it's the only thing that I can think that is an actual solution for the problem that we're going to be facing in the immediate future. Because everything else that we want to do will take time, and yeah, it might overall be better in a year when we can fix it or whatever, but that doesn't stop you personally, from having an economic crisis because your wife was let go. That doesn't stop, the hospital bills from demand or sending you to collections or demanding for money, that doesn't stop any of that. And so we have to do something to solve the immediate problem while also looking for future solutions. That's how I kind of look at it.
I love it. I guess while we let the people read A Swallow, let me make sure I got it right. A Swallow for AZ.com. Let them think of some questions. What do you think about the orange? Well, the orange orangutan, the tangerine tornado tyrant himself, um, federalizing DC cops, bringing in the what do you call it? The National Guard. What's your reaction to this?
The nasty girl.
I haven't heard that in a while. Are you referring to specifically the California stuff, or is there something
No,
new?
yesterday he just announced that he was going to federalize the DC police because Big Balls got beat up. Yeah, what is it? What is Big Balls in our administration?
Anti-terrorist person or something?
Yeah, he's
I
like,
don't know.
our official anti-terrorist guy named Big Balls got beat up. I don't know if you heard the story. Not a lot of people believe that that was just by accident either. We'll have a story on that, but fine. He used that yesterday to take over. He's taken over and federalized the DC police. He said he's going to kick out all of the homeless. They have to find somewhere to go. They have to move, because of course they don't have a home because they just haven't moved yet. That's why. That's why.
Yeah, they're homeless because of choice. Clearly, yeah,
Right.
obviously, yeah.
So they have to.
And they're homeless, so they can just easily move their shopping cart across into Virginia.
Yeah,
yeah.
That type of nonsense is what this fucking third grade idiot is on. Anyway, yeah. So that's happened. That is now the case. Supposedly, National Guard are the DC National Guard. Now he can bring them in for this and federalize the police for this. January 6th, though, we couldn't find the National Guard anywhere. Hours and hours. They no who, where, what name National Guard can find them. But now, yeah, we're going to move out all of the homeless people. So basically, we just criminalize the homeless, and we're going to be beating every black person with a baton as often as possible because crime has actually gone down. It's at its 30-year low in DC. But because of the crime wave, he's bringing in the National Guard and federalizing the DC police so he can rule with an iron fist. Thoughts?
I mean, this is going to sound really bad, but none of that surprises me, and it should. But it doesn't surprise me, mostly because I actually knew everything that Project 2025 was going to do anyway.
There it is. There it is.
Like he's just following the playbook. I mean, it all I don't like it, and it all really sucks. But none of it surprises me. I will say at least he's not trying to illegally, violate posse comitatus by, having the active duty involved this time. At least there's some kind of rule in there that they're attempting to follow. But I mean, I don't like it. Like, obviously this is just an excuse for him to bring in the military and to have an authoritative appearance off of one little thing. I'll be honest, and this is gonna hot take. I don't give a fuck how much Big Balls is beaten up in the street. I don't.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
I don't. That is a police problem. That is not a I live in Arizona problem, so I care about the fact that he was beat up. I don't care.
Right.
That's a DC police problem. That's not a reason to, it's not. He's obviously using that as an excuse to do
Right.
whatever he wants. So
Well, here's what's scarier is, you're right. He realized that he doesn't have as much power to bring in active duty police officers into the streets. I mean, active duty service members, officials, military into the streets. So he chose DC for a reason, because that's the only National Guard
that he has control over.
That he actually has control over. So
yeah, because it has no governor. I'm assuming. I don't actually know
right.
the politics of DC, but I'm assuming they don't have a governor.
Yeah, they don't have their own. They have like a mayor, not a governor. They're not a state. So he
makes sense.
Has federal military control. They're called the National Guard, but he can use them and control them and direct them, just like
I thought it was up to the mayor of DC.
I mean, in theory, it would fall to the mayor, but the problem is that a governor and a mayor still have a governor is basically the president of that area in terms of like power and the way that like things kind of work with the legislative to the governor. So like the legislative, bodies to the governor. So like that's in that trouble with Newsom because of him activating them without the governor's consent. So that's why he's doing DC, because he doesn't need a governor's consent because there is no governor.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I would assume that you do need the mayor, but when you're not even a state, I'm sure there's some kind of loophole that you
check it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure for DC it's the mayor.
No, check it out. The DC National Guard's chain of command is unique in that it reports directly to the President of the United States. Unlike National Guard units in states which are under dual control of the state governor and federal government.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
That does make sense because it's not a state and doesn't have a governor.
President of the United States and then Secretary of Defense. Okay? Like the state, territory, or governor doesn't even have a say. Which is why on January 6th, when we were wondering how come the National Guard aren't there, the reason why is because even if this guy wanted to, even if the mayor, whatever they call him, wanted to call them, they can't.
Yeah.
This goes under Secretary of goddamn Defense. Like, they're down here. This is the chain of command. And these folks are over here, if y'all can see my mouse. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So that's where it gets different. And I never even thought about that with January 6th. Like this really just kind of opened my eyes to that. Like, wow.
Yeah, I mean that is a good point, because I know that there was a lot of controversy around like him sending requests or supposed requests. I don't know. But anyway, him sending requests and then it being denied because other people, to include some Democratic Congress people, were like, no, there's no need for it and whatever. But if you're the president, you can just
call them.
You can just call them anyway because it's DC. So all he's kind of proving now is that he didn't have either one of two things. Either he was incompetent and didn't know that, and no one else in the cabinet knew that at all, or it was on purpose and now he's trying to do it now, and hopefully just magically people will forget about it.
I'm thinking that this could be something that I need to be highlighting to remind folks, like, hey, now that this has happened, let's take a look. So all the people because you can't say it then because you're just a snowflake, or you're just lying, or whatever. So now that he's done this, let's just juxtapose it to January 6th, right? Like, so now you know he can just call them to come in, and this is a fact. So we also know that he didn't care. That's what he wanted. It was on purpose. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Um, that's sick. That's sick. All right. I think I'm ready for some from commenters questions, but Big Stars, I'll let you go in. You got any questions?
Yeah, do we actually have some questions, or
do I have questions?
No, well, you or the comments,
Do the
I
people
guess.
in the comment sections have questions? Yes, and some of them are
Yes.
probably irrelevant.
I mean, I'm willing to answer irrelevant ones too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
What's your
mean,
shoe
but
size?
I mean, maybe starting with the relevant ones first. But what was the question? Yeah.
I was like, what's your shoe size?
Well, it depends. Female sizes or guy sizes. So.
Well, you're female, so female sizes. So.
Yeah. So girl sizes because I have to get medical insoles. Although I don't, I'm fucking broken. I have to have insoles, so I like to wear 11 or 12 in female sizes. So, which is hard because can't really find that. Yeah,
I know. I did a powder puff game one time, and I'm like,
"Oh,
do you have high heels in men's size 12?" They're like, what?
Men's size 12. That's like a 14, 15, something like that.
Right? Have you ever seen a high heel? Anyway,
I used to be involved in the drag scene, so yes, I have seen that. But
okay, I can see that. This was the 90s, though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
What's your stance on Israel?
Okay, well, I will preface with I think that's less of a state problem and more of a national thing. But you already know my stance on Israel, which is I don't approve of the genocide. So there you go.
Facts. Question: how can average people be supportive for human rights when the support actions are being made illegal?
Ooh.
Ask that one more time. Ask that one more time so I can make sure I get it.
How can average people be supportive for human rights when the support actions are being made illegal?
Oh, okay. So I'm assuming you're referring to like the support actions of like protesting and stuff like that.
Actions I would suspect are protests. Also, they're shutting down. There's like nonprofits that aren't getting funded anymore. Like all the things that maybe you could have done to help them are becoming illegal. My gist.
Okay.
If you mean, let us know, Focus Lady. Do you mean like direct action? You mean out there in the streets? If you protesting things like that are becoming illegal? But I'll let you answer the best way you know how.
Yeah. I'll try to answer it, but yeah, if you have a more like a deeper follow up to that, that would be helpful. So let's see, how can the average people be supportive? So the problem is that we're facing an authoritarian kind of regime, and so and they make certain things illegal, then we got to find other ways around that legality. So there's going to be loopholes that we can exploit. There's going to be ways to still support without doing the things that they make illegal, and they can't make it illegal immediately. Like there's still a process, even though I know that the Supreme Court is basically a puppet court for him at this point. But like there's still ways that we can support each other and still stay in the law so that we don't get charged criminal acts without a specific I don't know what exactly is being illegal, but let's just say protesting is illegal. Let's just say tomorrow protesting in Arizona was illegal. You can't have a crowd of more than 20 people in a street with signs or whatever. Let's just say that's illegal. Well, there's other ways of doing that. We can still do Zoom calls. We can still have other forms of things that aren't considered protests. We can still do town halls. We can still do so. Like, there's always going to be a way around that problem, if that makes sense.
Sorry. Is that your answer to the question, Big Star?
Oh, breaking the law? Yeah. Well,
yes.
I would never tell somebody to break the law. However, say that that is a reality that, you know, a lot of the civil rights stuff that we won, a lot of the women's voting rights, not everything was, quote, legal, right?
Yeah.
When there's when we have to, sometimes we have to take drastic measures, but I would never tell somebody to go break the law because
Right.
I don't want somebody to have the repercussions of that afterwards. But I'm say, for example, it became illegal to be a politician, I would still do the things that I needed to do. And if that ended up putting me in jail or sending me to, I don't know, to CCOT or something, then so be it. That's what happens. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to, but I'm not gonna actively go out and like vandalize stuff or something like that. But sometimes that's what happens. So it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I think this is just a furtherance of that same sentiment, which says, "What can be done when the law becomes the crime?"
Sometimes we have to, sometimes we have to, sometimes you break it. That is one option. Or sometimes we find ways around it. Or
find ways around
the best option is probably doing both. When the law is an authoritarian thing, because like I don't condone breaking the law, but at the same point, when the law is something authoritarian, then sometimes you end up breaking the law. I'll use this. If Arizona, which they won't, because thankfully the governor who vetoes like all the ridiculous fucking right-wing bullshit. But let's just say tomorrow they said, oh no, you have to, even though all my federal documents, all it, birth certificates, social security, everything says female. If all of a sudden it became illegal for me to go to the women's bathroom, I'd still go. And if that meant breaking the law, then I broke the law, for example.
Porcupine Doily down there. You see that question? It's not even a question. She's just saying, I think she might have come in late.
Oh yeah, I just want to make sure that Aiden is running for her state government, not the federal. Yes, I am no longer a congressional candidate. I am a state candidate, state representative. Yes, for LD19, which is all of Graham County, vast majority of Cochise County, all of Greenlee County, some of Santa Cruz County, and some of Pima County.
What happens if marijuana gets rescheduled for medical use only?
It won't. Because
I'm gonna get glaucoma all of a sudden.
It won't, because the what's it called? The revenue that Arizona gets from marijuana, it's just
for real. It's unreal, people. Like all of the black folks who paved the way that are in prisons now will not get any of that money. All of the dispensaries are white owned. I mean, damn near all of them, right? And all of them are the same folks. Are the same folks that were with the senator here or the House person here. They knew these folks. The same thing happened in Georgia. Same thing. I was a part of a coalition that was making it legal in Georgia. And this coalition was diverse. We went to the Capitol. We got the signatures. I was holding stuff in my church. I convinced the pastor that let me do this thing because of how much we believe this and all the great things that were going to come from not getting our brothers and sisters arrested anymore and bringing money into the community. The minute this shit got passed, it's all white dispensaries, all hand-picked by friends of the so-and-so and the farmers and Farmer Joe and this and that one. All the black folks that paved the way, still in prison, still fucked up, and can't get none of the money. I just wanted to say that. So everybody can feel guilty or something. I don't know. Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, I don't feel guilty. I feel bad that that's happening, but but convincing the world of systemic racism right now is a hard fight. So
yeah, where's the rally point when shots fired?
that's more of a Tim question. That's not a
Signal.
me question.
And to get on Signal, you need to be vetted through Discord. It's why the vast majority of my videos are like, at the very end, it's like, you should get on our Discord because that way you can be vetted for Signal. And on Signal, we talk about fuck shit. But on Discord, we don't talk about fuck shit. We talk about making cakes and where you can go to find gun owners who are left-leaning. And there's a porn channel. There's not. I just threw that in there because
porn channel on Discord, but you talk about on no, I've not seen. That makes sense.
There's not a porn channel.
No, it's on Signal. That's the point.
Yeah,
there could be.
Oh well, you have an OnlyFans, so I guess you could.
In fact, I do.
Look, I'm just plugging your channel. I know you have an OnlyFans, all right? I actually watch your content, okay?
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Thank you.
How about you watch the fucking content? That's what she said.
You know what? Some people like Mitchell might be brand new, just stumbled across it.
Yeah.
I haven't actually done the full bit with like the 3 paragraphs of things in probably a dozen videos at this point. So
the full bit,
that's
like
a fair
you
question,
you mean the bit that starts with "in case you're wondering," based upon my beard and my shirt, and then you go from there. Is that what you're talking about?
That's the beginning. The
Okay.
resistance starts with us. Want to know how you can get involved in the Sons of Liberty? Get on our Discord.
Do you have that memorized, Sarge? I need to know. Are you still reading it?
I'm this close to having it memorized. The beginning part, yes. In fact, funny story. I was out in Texas this past weekend, and the director of photography was like, well, who's going to narrate this? I'm like, I'm just going to do voiceovers. He's like, no, you got to be on camera in front of the campsite area talking in person. So get over there. So I got over there, and he's like, what are you going to say? And I'm like, I don't know. Roll camera. Let's find out. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth is like, what is up, fam of Liberty? And all everyone else watching this documentary who's not following our YouTube channel for some inexplicable reason. I am your host, Big Sarge, aka the admin, formerly known as Admin Tim. He's like, why are you enunciating formerly? And I'm like, because they're fucking idiots who are like formerly. The hard R. So yeah, I've got about 85-90% of it memorized.
Of the last one memorized. That intro is killer now. I know that you're not reading that anymore. I'm like, he's not reading that. It's impossible.
Only thing I gotta say to that is, and I'll give extra points to anybody who can figure out, who can show that you're a real nerd. Tell me what game this is from. Got it memorized?
Ooh.
Anyway.
Anybody? I need to know. What is this? Got it memorized?
I'm kind of a bit of a gamer, so I kind of know things.
I think you just proved that, because if even Big Sarge doesn't know, that means that must be a deep cut.
It might be deep cut, or I'm just so niche into the RPG land that even he doesn't know. But anyway.
So, is it we're talking role play? We talking about video games here? Or are we talking?
Oh, that's right. You don't know terminology. RPG. Yeah, RPG stands for role playing game, but it's I'm specifically referring to a video game franchise that had, and I'll give you a clue. It's a franchise built upon 2. I don't think so.
In the comments.
That could be any game. Well, no,
I'll give
no.
you a hint.
Yeah.
The second word rhymes with farts.
So he does know.
Yeah, because he probably looked it up. No. But so, I see in the comments like that could be any. No, it's like no. It's a very iconic phrase of.
Yeah.
uses in the.
I mean,
like
I was trying to think of a word that rhymed with the first word because there isn't one.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what about the character? Can I do like a riff on Beverly Hills Cop? It's like, this is Achmel, Achwell, Mr. Foley.
Yeah.
Up, down,
Might be
right,
obscure.
left. A B start. What was that one?
Okay, well, what game is that from? What game is that from? Huh, Doug? Yeah. Who knows?
Contra is what I was saying. Right? Up, down, right, left.
Yeah, pretty sure it's
start.
Contra. That was going to be my
Contra.
It gives you like 100 men and all the guns immediately, and so you can. Just...
I actually don't because that's my time, but I just knew it.
Oh yeah, thanks, appreciate that. She's like, that's before my time. I don't know.
Look, it's not my fault that I'm the youngest one here. Okay.
I mean, my goodness, try to show them a good time. I swear.
Yes, it is. It is Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Axel from Hearts was known for saying,
so
"Got
now
it memorized."
Everybody knows if you can think of a word that rhymes with kingdom.
I mean, I could, but I won't do it. I let it for them.
Yeah.
I mean, wing some farts, right?
Wings. Wings was not even a word.
Wing some farts.
You could just say win some farts.
Win some? Nice.
Yeah, but I don't know any farts that are winsome.
Lingam, rude, interplanetarian wins the internet. Lingam. That wins. I'll take
Lingam.
that.
Lingonberry.
Actually, yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
All right. That's when we know it's time to go. I'm out of here, man. What the hell's going on right now? What are we doing with our lives?
Hey,
all right.
You know we got that Zoom call with Cliff tonight, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Just making sure you got that email.
And I didn't know that from the email. I knew it from the signal, though. Let me make sure I do have that.
Oh, really? I'm going to have to make sure they put you on the email distro because I put in there like 8 times. I'm like, had political drain.
Because you're a good guy, sir. You're a good guy.
Yeah. I do want to, before we end, I do want to open to talk about more nerd stuff before we go, if you guys want. But I do want to answer this question over here from, I think, Trinata 1701, I think is what I said. Anyway, or Tri-NDA. Yeah, so I just want to, I knew that this was going to happen already. It's goes without saying, I already knew that it was going to happen. But oftentimes when I do talk about, say, important issues like any of the things I've talked about, anytime I make, especially on TikTok or something, and I haven't done any state TikToks yet. I've kind of taken a break from TikTok a little bit. I need to get back on it. But I mean, let's just say this: every day, virtually, when I would post something, it would be, and I could be talking about billionaire taxes and stuff, and half the comments are just trans hate or misgendering me or something or whatever. And that's just half of them. Anytime I did YouTube videos, it would be, I would get a lot of support too, but I would also get, so it's kind of just normal. So how much? I don't have a number. I mean, I was receiving death threats when I ran for politics. So back just in the theater, I was getting death threats. But so
theater,
so, yeah.
So come on.
So
the one refuge
this isn't abnormal. Do what?
The one refuge of the trans person is in the theater. What are you doing, Arizona?
No. The theater is super supportive. It's other people who audience members that would. So basically, I got death threats when I did the Diary of Anne Frank. I was a character in the Diary of Anne Frank, and I got death threats for that.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But so my point is that none of it's
abnormal to me, and that's probably not a good thing. But none of it's abnormal to me, and so to answer your question, a lot. I can't put a number on it. A shit ton is, I guess, the number I would put on it. Yeah.
There you have it, folks. It's the reality of the situation. How long it takes to change, it depends on us, I guess, huh? Or I guess when all the old people die out. Is anybody else out there like just kind of waiting for Republicans to like just fucking die out already? Like, I mean, maybe that's just me. I mean,
I feel like there's no good way to answer.
Don't answer that. That's not for you. I'll anger translate that for you. But in all honesty, like, fucking hit the box already. Like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, how do you live that long being that evil? Doesn't it consume you from the inside being that hateful all the time? Like living your whole life hating people. My God.
Well, when they live in their bubble, it makes it easy.
Yeah, true.
Because if you're surrounded by people who are like-minded, then your hatred doesn't matter. You don't have any consequence for it.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they croak soon. Thank you so much. Oh no, that's your job. I'm not doing the ending. That's your job. Sorry, you got way too much stuff to say. I'm still trying to find his email.
Is this another live stream? Do I need to try and tune in for another live stream?
No, it's a Zoom call with the Removal Coalition. Yeah, it's a Zoom call.
You're gonna end this here.
I mean, you know what? I did a video this morning at like 4:30 a.m. my time because slept for 15 hours straight. And I listed all of our upcoming live stream guests, but one that developed after I had recorded the video was Steve Hofstetter, the comedian. And that will be this coming Monday, the 15th, I think. Let me click my little calendar thing real fast.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
The 18th, my mistake. So August 18th at 7 p.m., it's Monday, Steve Hofstetter, the comedian, will be joining us for a live stream. And then Tuesday the 19th, I believe Elion is in our comments on the live stream. We've got Elion, Badger, and then the 26th, we've got Jessica Denson and Cliff Cash.
Oh, nice.
And
glad they are
100% sure we have after that on Tuesdays, but we've got Ro Khanna on September the 8th, which is a Monday.
Yeah, I saw that he had to cancel, right? He had to cancel the last one that you were trying to do.
Right. There was that bit of legislation pertaining to that guy, so we got canceled. We got canceled.
You got canceled. I know it's really cool. You're starting to get a lot of big name people on the show now. That's good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can, after Ro Khanna, we can pick up Ken Casey from Dropkick Murphys. We actually reached out to them, to their management. Their management was like, "Thank you, but we will never be on your show." And it's like, did you even look at the link tree?
Anyway, what they saw was that snake and that beard, and they were like,
right. They were like,
like you're trolling.
I have to like preface sometimes when I say, yeah, Sons of Liberty, they people just assume it's like this thing that's not the case.
I was in Texas this past week and I had my Sons of Liberty flag and the Sons of Liberty shirt, and people were like, "Hell yeah, brother."
Yeah, so you gotta be careful out there, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I do want to say, this isn't related, but I haven't had a chance to kind of like
not make fun of, but like mess with you about it. I can, when you start to rant, I can tell when you're Scottish. Is it Scottish or is it Irish? It's Scottish, right? When your accent starts to come out, I can pick up when it starts to happen, and I don't think you're doing it on purpose, but it's kind of funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
When certain emotions come to the fore, it tends to show up. One of them is anger. I'll give you a guess.
What's the other one?
Is.
Oh man, no guess needed. No guess needed. When you're making the O face, god damn it. That's like, top of the morning to your wifey.
That's Irish.
How do you?
What the?
I don't know.
How do you owe it? How?
Well, you know, Scots like hey.
I mean, I was going to ask, how do you owe it a different accent? But you've already demonstrated, so there you go.
You heard it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be racist. To Scottish people. I apologize.
I think you need to apologize to the Irish people more than me.
And both of you, shit. You know, it's just like somebody saying all of y'all look alike. Like it's not right.
I'm not presuming Aiden's ethnic background. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I just know I'm white as fuck, so probably the British Isle, but I don't know. So,
yeah,
that's fair.
Could be any of those. I don't know.
I would say 23andMe, but they just like went under and somebody bought out all their DNA.
Yeah, well, I mean, I never did it because when I was in the military, I just didn't do it because of reasons like that. But now that I'm out, I just haven't done it.
So when I joined in like the early 90s, they took that fucking cotton swab at the MEP station. We're like, did you have to do that?
I mean, I don't know.
Put it in like a foil bag or something. They're like, this is a DNA sample in case you ever get killed in combat. And I was like, oh, that's.
I never got that.
I don't know. I didn't join until 2006, so I don't remember my MEPs. That was a long time ago.
Oh, I think I was getting out.
They were just doing that to you, bud.
No.
They were like, we need to know where the hell you come from.
Fort Benning in the mid 90s. They're like, here's a giant. The cotton swab is like that long.
I mean, it is. I mean, it is a way when they take the long cotton swab, like they can reach kind of far back there and get something to test like different. I don't know. I'm not medical, but stuff. So like I know that they do it for that, but I don't know if this like in case you die in combat or something.
Guys, I gotta run.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave. Yeah. I will be on the Zoom. Aiden, thank you once again so much for being here, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon with the one-on-one. I don't know what the hell to ask anymore. Now I've asked it all here, so I'll find some new shit to talk about.
I mean, I didn't answer that many questions. I'm sure you can come up with something, or we can just BS the whole time. I don't know, whatever.
Yep, I'm
talk about D&D some more.
Right, I'll learn some more about D&D.
We can talk about that if you want.
All right, peace.
All right. That is our time for this evening. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thank you again, Aiden Swallow, for coming back to Sons of Liberty. You know what?
Yeah.
You do the 2 claps and a Rick.
Oh, my God. You're going to make me do it? I'm going to be your second person to do it?
I might be the third, I think.
Oh, third. Okay. That's it. I've seen it so many times. So obviously it's just normal. And then the thing, right?
No, you're the so you know how like there's call and response, and the black churches was like, "Can I get an amen?" And everybody's like, "Amen."
Duh! I tell you to clap, and then we all scream.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Can I get 2 claps and a Rick?
Woo!
Okay. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much, Aiden.